This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers game reviews here on the channel. Well, maybe I should go out there and get you a scoreboard for what this one looked like between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Edmonton Oilers. A 4-2 final for the Leafs, but end of the day, my goodness, you know what? Every other loss this year, yeah, there's been some reasons to be up in arms over the Oilers. But, well, I'm sorry. I'm struggling. I'm struggling to come up with, outside of one thing that obviously, you know what, yeah, that cost the Oilers. I'm struggling to come up with more than one thing this game that cost the Oilers this win today. And I wouldn't say, you know what, anything realistically cost the Oilers today. I would go out there and say, quite simply, it was a great game and somebody had to win and the Toronto Maple Leafs won it. You want an easy breakdown of this one? That's what it is. Is this a hard-fought, playoff-type styled game matchup? It was said on the broadcast. And again, the Oilers, the Leafs, they went and got it going in that game. And quite honestly, I am absolutely impressed. You know what? Here's the thing, right? 4-2 looks ugly. Let me tell you, empty netter with .4 seconds to go. So a 3-2 game. And you know what? This is one everybody always complains, oh, Tyson, you never give the opposing team credit for winning. Well, that's because typically the Oilers cost themselves the win multiple times over. Honestly, right? You think about that Jimmy Vesey goal, the second one for Toronto that made it 2-1 going into the second period intermission. Yeah, that was a bad giveaway by Adam Larson. But guess what? In a 4-2 game, that's not what sunk you. I'm sorry, right? So if you're going to get up in arms that the Oilers gave this one away, end of the day, they really didn't. This is and has been through two games a war of attrition between the Leafs and the Oilers, and a fantastic matchup. If this is the kind of Leafs and Oilers we get, you know what? The star power is even more important. That's where this gets really fun, is because everybody's, it's going to be high scoring, and then you've got these two matchups that have been 3-1 with an empty netter, 4-2 with an empty netter. So realistically, right, okay, take away the empty netter, 5 goals scored in one game, and a total of 4 goals scored, or 3 goals scored in the other one. That's fun, right? That is, you need everybody contributing to the win in those kind of games. It's not just Connor McDavid pops off and has 6 points to win you the game. And that's why, even in this loss for the Oilers, yeah, sure, now we're 2-4 on the season. Okay, great and dandy, but we sure aren't 1-5, are we? But you look at it this way, is, you know what, in this loss, in that win the other day, every single Edmonton Oiler is going out there, getting to work, and having a great game in those two nights. Yes, okay, so again, review what happened. Bad giveaway by Larson leads to goal. Mikko Koskinen, 3 goals against on 30 shots. Well, guess what? That's a .900 save percentage still. And I think I read something silly, like Mikko Koskinen has the second best save percentage among goaltenders in Canada. Huh? I thought he wasn't a legit number one. Beyond me, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just a guy that talks about YouTube and the Edmonton Oilers in his basement. That's all I am. So far be it from me to tell you what an Oilers number one goaltender is, but far be it from me to not think Mikko Koskinen isn't it. So that's fine and dandy, right? That's absolutely fine and dandy. James Neal comes out. The Oilers power play, still same old problem. And honestly, now here's what they are getting at with the Oilers power play. And it is something we talked about a lot last year, all right? Last year we talked heavily about the Oilers power play coming with that one-man up the middle rush, right? Drop back pass to McDavid, up the middle, cut the zone because he's got speed. Guess what? Everybody's gotten mighty wise to that, and they've gotten mighty sick of that, and they have taken that effectively fully away from McDavid this year. We have 1 goal off of that entry this season. Well, we've had a heck of a lot of power plays this year, so maybe it's time to change things up, and that's what they were mentioning in the intermissions this evening on Sportsnet. Don't know how the 6:30 Ched feed sounded, but I'd imagine they had something to touch on. Did Bob Stauffer on that as well. So, okay. That's everything taken care of, right? let's get to the goal scorers, shall we? Let's break down the stats on this one. Well, Mikko Koskinen, he's 2-4 on the year. Freddie Andersen's 3-2 after giving up 2 goals tonight. And you know what? It was a big game out of Kailer Yamamoto once again. He is now officially credited with an assist because it never touched the defender's stick as he stole the puck, stripped it, fed it mid-slot, just trying to throw it to an area. I don't even think he was trying to throw it to Draisaitl as well as he did. Maybe to an extent he was trying to throw it there, but not as well as he did. He just threw it to an area and it finds a skate shin somewhere that wasn't the stick of a Leafs defender. Draisaitl picks it up off the bounce, tucks it far side pad against Freddie Andersen, and the Oilers led 1-0. The problem is, in that second period, after a slight even edge to the Oilers in the first, is the Leafs pushed back. And you know what? Okay, the Oilers crumpled. I'm sorry. Did you not expect a pushback? Despite everything out of the Leafs lineup, everybody billing into it this morning said the Leafs are going to push back. The Leafs are going to push back. And here's the thing, right? If the Leafs so much romped the Oilers, why did the Oilers have a chance to tie it in the final minute of the game? That's all I'm going to say there is you can look at it is the Oilers bend but didn't break tonight. And that's something we have seen them do way too many times this season and way too many times in my time covering the Oilers on YouTube dating back to the earliest of November 2018. So with that said, right, let's all factor things in here. Yeah, you know what? Bend but don't break, lose 4-2 on an empty netter. I'm not going to be too upset with that. Yeah, could that second period have been better? Sure. But again, break it down to one simple play in which the Adam Brooks power play goal, that's a deflection lucky goal. And I mean, the John Tavares deflection goal is a whole nother story we'll get to in a moment. But the Jimmy Vesey goal off of the Adam Larsson unforced error, that's the one that hurts tonight. And that's the most disappointing thing of this, is the Oilers went out there and played a heck of a game. Right? This is the kind of game that the Oilers need to play to win a heck of a lot of games. Hey, right? 3-2. Get comfortable. That's what they've been talking about in the past 2 broadcasts as well. An old Todd McClellan thing, a thing that Dave Tippett likes to say, get comfortable in low-scoring games. And the Oilers looking comfortable in these games, not pressing for offense. But once they find their stride offensively in the offensive zone, they really start shuffling it around and moving it and getting some lanes. And it looks good. Yeah, do we need to shoot a little bit more? I don't know. We had 32 shots tonight. I don't know where people are asking the Oilers to shoot the puck more. If the Oilers shoot the puck every single chance they get, that's going to lead to odd man rushes back the other way on some rebounds too. So I don't think people consider that. But what we've seen so far is, yes, a much improved effort the past 2 games over the Oilers, and it starts just with the simple hockey basics, right? It's not even, oh, it's this or it's that. It is just a combination of doing every little thing right that has led us to here a loss again for the Oilers. But I'm baffled to sit here and criticize more than that Adam Larsson turnover, because at the end of the day it comes down to, okay, you take that goal away, the empty netter never happens, and we're 2-2 going to overtime, and it's a crapshoot between these teams. You got Mitch Marner and Zach Hyman, John Tavares on one side, and you got Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on the other. Take your pick. 50-50 who's going to win that, and especially if you go to a shootout, good luck. So then you have Connor McDavid tied up in the third period, 50 seconds in, on just a gorgeous tip. Ethan Bear, puck, knuckling from the point, like this was a Tim Wakefield special from the point, and Connor McDavid gets a handle on it, puts it 5 holes through Freddie Andersen. Nugent-Hopkins, by the way, picks up an assist. Oh, by the way, that's a 5-on-5 goal, I believe, still at that point. Yeah, you might not appreciate it, but Zach Kassian was on the ice with the Edmonton Oilers top line still at that point before the rest of the third period, where you would see Jesse Puljujarvi starting to take hold on that top line for the Oilers, and my goodness, does he look good up there. Oh man, jamming it to the net, taking it, and just crunching on top of Andersen. Again, right, I have way more happy memories of this game, despite losing by 2. Despite losing by 2, this was a fun game to watch from the Oilers' perspective. Everything's starting to come together. And I'm sorry, the Oilers needed to win this one. You're not going to win them all. You absolutely aren't. So buckle up. It's going to be a dogfight. You see it every single game so far, right? What happens if Vancouver gets hot? What happens if the Oilers get hot? What happens if Calgary craps the bed for 4 games? What happens? What happens? What happens, right? And this is the interesting part. All 4-point games, I get that, but it's all a race depending what you do the next game. Doesn't even matter, because thing is, if you don't play Toronto next, it's still a 4-point game, and they're playing a 4-point game, and you see how all of a sudden a lot of 4-point games become 8, 9, 12, 17-point games if everybody's been playing and going overtime. It's confusing, right? And then, of course, yeah, that John Tavares tip, that one, yeah, it stings, exact same thing, except for it's a power play goal, so a little bit more, right? One man off the ice. I'm not going to fault the defenders for believing the puck's going that way or that way, and this one getting tipped in front because John Tavares is standing there by himself. Again, down a man. End of the day, I'm not going to get too upset about that one. Yeah, okay, it's the game winner, and I should. Sorry. Again, the Oilers had a chance to tie it in the final minute, and they did a heck of an effort. And the Toronto Maple Leafs, to their credit, played some defense, got the job done. Mitch Marner, with 0.4 seconds on the clock, scored the goal that wins the game for sure, a 4-2 empty netter. So, end of the day, if I got to sit here and pick somebody I'm very impressed with out of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and something that was echoed on the broadcast as well, is Ilya Mikheyev. Man, you want to talk about a guy completely disrupting the Oilers' power play all night. Absolutely great game out of him. And I'm just going to go on for this because we're going to walk our way to the midnight 1 a.m. special here on Dolynny TV, the Friday, Saturday morning special that some of you have come to enjoy. I don't know how you enjoy watching me at 1 in the morning, but please keep aware that that will be coming later this evening. Yeah, right, the plus-minus columns, yeah, James Neal, a -2, that figures. I mean, that's nothing out of the ordinary. And once again, Darnell Nurse, a +2 on the night. Kailer Yamamoto, a fantastic game for the Edmonton Oilers. And you look at it all across the boards, it does not look like anyone was really that fantastic for the Toronto Maple Leafs either. So it just leads to both goalies having a great game. Actually, Mikko Koskinen, sorry, my bad, only credited with 28 shots against, because I'm reading the Oilers' shots card. But again, right, still, .893 save percentage. In this one, Koskinen's not the problem. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. I'm going to talk to you in a few short hours here early into your Saturday morning. Get you primed for another exciting weekend of Oilers talk ahead. I am up on out of here.